Okay, I'm live. So, today, oh fuck, I want to make a different kind of live stream. Today I'm not going to apply to any jobs, I think. Streaming me talking about things out loud. Physicality, real world related. I'm writing the topics I'm going to talk about. Okay. Can I change the thumbnail? What's the button to take picture? Something like this will do. Okay, uploading the thumbnail. Screenshot 23, 24, 10. Boom. Guardar. And yeah. Copy. So yeah, let's go. Boom. It's on. One viewer, but they already went out, so it's not real. Fuck you, non-existent viewer. Just kidding. I'm not hostile. Or am I? Alright. So, first thing I thought, meta / gifts. Yeah, I don't know. I called it meta because I got gifted this. I don't know why transparent is just brown, but yeah. And a book. which are nice. And yeah, I was thinking of gifts. So yeah, this is the first thing I want to talk about, which is kind of gifts. And yeah, this is a book, Rick Rubin's book, Creative Act, A Way of Being. And yeah, I was going to buy it anyways. So I'm very glad I got it gifted. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to have a physical gift. I don't know, because if I buy the book for myself, I would have probably bought it on Kindle, or if I bought it physically, like I wouldn't put that much attachment to the object, right? I do like the physicality of things, right? But for example, I bought this book just because it was like not on Kindle, but on Twitter. It got into my timeline, right? But I don't like this object itself, right? It's not like just because it's object and it has a physicality to it. I can smell it. Doesn't smell particularly well. Sorry, doesn't smell particularly good or anything. But it's yeah, like the fact that it is an object. Besides the fact that I could, like, I guess, mark pages or highlight stuff or anything, but I don't tend to do that anyway. So for me, it doesn't have a lot of utility. The fact that it's physical, right? So when I got the gift, I was like, huh, that's cool. Because for gifts, the thing changes, right? Now the gift, because it's a gift, I have a certain, I give it a certain value and a certain different attachment to it because of who gifted it to me, right? So yeah, that's a thing. And I wanted to mention that my initial reaction to that physicality was bad. There is a certain sense in which I don't like it. Not the gift itself, right? But the fact that it is a physical gift that reminds me of stuff. I don't like that fact. But I don't know, it feels like a short-term negative in exchange of a long-term positive, which I fuck with. So yeah, I am long-term grateful for it, I would say. And yeah, I still haven't read it or anything, so yeah, I'm sure I will be even more grateful when I read it, because I do want to read it. I have a lot of people in my kind of Twitter sphere or whatever recommend it, plus also people outside of it that I respect. So, and yeah, Rick Rubin is an interesting person. It's some kind of guy who has not, I guess, achieved like any technical proficiency of any kind, but who is this revered person in the industry for some reason, which I find intriguing and relatable in some sense. Not relatable in the fact that I am intriguing or whatever, but in the fact that you can become that without mastering anything specific, you could say. Right? Or maybe what he has mastered is different. That's the first thing I wanted to say. Then yeah, I don't know. It is kind of, I see it as some kind of sign of belief, right? Because of this and the added note and all of that, I do see it as a sign of belief, which belief in me, I mean, which I find nice. Then next thing, well, writing stuff and all of this, which I'm going to use because of that. So I think this will probably become my live stream kind of, let's go like full maximalist mode or something, and just have a lot of writing stuff. I used to want just one thing to write on, so yeah, that it's easier. But fuck it, let's go more expansive, and I'll use these things, right? Then the next thing I wanted to talk about was maybe some direction for next streams. I bought piano courses because today was the last day to to buy the courses, and thank God I realized this, because the course was very expensive. It was like 93 euros. But I don't know. To me, I'm not sure if to me it will be worth it. But fuck it, I have the 193 euros, and yeah, I don't think they will make me make more money. I really doubt it. But yeah, maybe I will stream this in the future. Oh, and yeah, I wanted to. This is just one thing, because this guy, I applied to his company and got rejected, but I think I may apply again. I was thinking of doing it in this stream, but I don't know. I'm not really in the mood for it. But yeah, I think I want to review like my old application for this. Fuck it. I took it outside because sometimes I write about personal stuff, and I'm not sure how much I want that to come out. I mean, 0 viewers right now, but yeah, thank God. But yeah, I'm still leaving this up. So okay, I think this is one. Yeah, this is for the first video that I did, I think. Yeah, and what I wanted was to review kind of these rules. I liked these values, right? That is kind of what I want to orient my application towards, right? I don't want to say video editing or something like this. I want to be like, I fuck with this. I can do more or less these things. Can I join? Again, asking again. This is kind of how I wanted to approach the new thing. And Yeah, I don't know. I like all of these values, right? But I don't know how to fit myself to them. I don't know if I fit myself. I think I don't know. That's the problem, right? People would usually approach something like the way to do it is probably to be like, I fit this. But I don't like, to me the point is not whether I fit currently or not, right? To me the point is that these are values to aspire to and I want to join, right? That's simply it, right? I don't feel like I need to prove anything. That's my problem. Yeah, this is kind of what I wanted to say. At least I have it recorded here for in case I need to rewatch it. Let's write it here. And yeah, this form is closed. Yeah, let's just look up a little bit. Uh, I wanted to look to see if he has been doing some streams or something lately. Oh, I don't know. Okay, back to the courses thing. I want to talk about courses. And I'm going to start right now, which is 20 minutes in. So, courses, music hacks. I think this is a good approach to courses because this is just teaching you piano, right? It doesn't promise anything. $100, unlimited access in theory, right? They probably have some way to cover their asses in case it cannot happen, but I think in general it probably is, right? It probably holds up. Just single fixed price, not recurring revenue model, because it is not a recurrent model thing, right? There is no recurring thing here. There is access to this community or whatever, but it is not some kind of. So to me, it is honest, right? I fuck with this. It is teaching a really simple thing based on this guy's famousness, right? If you're not famous, you cannot sell a fucking course. That's probably something that holds up. But let me pull up the chat in case someone joins in. I don't want to. Okay, so far no problem because no one's coming in. But yeah. Have I tweeted about it? Yeah, I have. Lol. Okay. So, good thing. Good type of course. But this leads me to other kind of courses, right? This is some kind of dude. This is a dude that fucking has a mega successful YouTube channel, who has a lot of knowledge, and he has the successful YouTube channel in the first place because he knows a lot about piano and all of this shit, right? Oh yeah, and I wanted to tie this to the New Year's stream I watched. This New Year's stream I mentioned, I finished it all. It was decent, and yeah, I applied to her job or whatever that she mentions. I didn't get my video watched, so I don't think I'm getting hired. Which sucks, but oh well, move on. But the stream was very good, and I do like her vibe and her way of teaching and all of these things, and it was interesting to hear like her to hear kind of her way of doing stuff, of teaching, and basically she talks a lot about. I wanted to tie this to the music course of piano because this course tries to teach you by video music, right? How to play music. And I'm not sure how successful it can be at that, right? She mentions these things about how you learn via embodiment, right? She is a music composer or whatever, so she can learn. So the thing that you have to learn is kind of perception, right? You have to learn to perceive the right things for you to act on them. And for that you need to have. She talks a lot about the ground. She talks a lot every time. She talks a lot about ground, and I think this is what ground is trying to cover, right? Ground, harmonics, harmonic, right? Harmony. This is kind of chords and all of this stuff. And I kind of already knew this from guitar, but it was a nice. I did finish this course. I did not finish this other course. But yeah, right now it's the third course, so I think maybe that's why I had hung up. So I decided to give this course a try because of that. And yeah, I wanted to relate this to what she mentioned, right? I want to see if what she talks about of ground, of like how is my ground in music? I know some music. I can play some stuff, right? I could pull up my guitar here and right now it's not auto in tune, so but I could play it. Oh fuck. This is also a guitar mic, by the way. I'm going to tune the guitar. Imagine, no. How do you do the tuning? G, no. Afinador. Tune, guitar tune. Okay. By a musician. strike my channel or whatever, right? So I can't play perfect, but yeah, this is what it's supposed to be. I'm not playing it well, but it's actually a cool thing. It auto scrolls, so yeah, I didn't know about this. It's cool that you can connect to Spotify. Damn. Okay, so basically, I don't know what I was saying. That I know some music, right? I can play a little bit. Yeah, but I'm not very good at it. So yeah, that's what I mean with my ground. I didn't really have a good ground on it. I think I don't know. Like I can play the scale. This is not a good scale, sorry, but I can play sometimes. I don't know a lot of scales, for example. I don't know. I think D major has fa sostenido, right? So flat F, I think. And what I can't do really well is like improvise on stuff. I'm not a good improviser. I don't know why, but I'm not sure if you have to have like good tonal knowledge or if you just have to embody and think what sounds right. But I'm not good at it. I don't know why. I can't flow really well with my hands on this. I'm not like I can't think in melody. I guess I'm not sure what I'm trying to do. I don't have like a purpose. I don't know. I don't really know what I don't know either. Like I can do the equivalent of playing only the white keys on the guitar, right? I can, because I know the C major scale, but I don't know like what that entails or like how to do it so that it sounds right or how to pay attention to the sounds so that I like the sounds. Like to me everything sounds bad when I play it. That's like there are some moments that kind of ring in a certain way, but I can't like hear the sound. I don't know. Like I can do these repeating patterns, but then I think to myself, well, this is like too small, and I don't know. I also feel like I don't have that great of a sense of rhythm. So and I guess you could do it like if you can like just transition through them, right? I don't have good technique either as to like press the notes so that it sounds well, I think. I don't know, I'm just traveling through it, I think. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to explore, I guess. That to know my ground. But actually, yeah, let's look up some kind of guitar sheet music. I could kind of read this, right? Can I subdivide it in three? Joder, this is so fast. yes, for example, I'm not sure if I can't interpret this because I haven't heard it or what, but yes, for example, when I encounter sheet music, stuff start to happen, right? Or for example, I couldn't even play the chords right. I don't know. This is E, so this is A minor. Fuck it, let's play the thing. Yeah, that's what I meant with music, that I wanted to, yes, to think about this grounding concept and to see what my grounding is, like to get kind of an accurate read of what my grounding is. And I'm not sure, I'm not sure what this is. I'm not sure if I can't play or if it just yeah, like for example, I'm not no, I don't know how much should I know this, like how fast should I start to like yeah, I don't know. Then the next topic I had to cover here was this. No, this. No, this. No, this. Yes, this. So, vibehole. I don't know. I think of this event, these kinds of events, and I got reminded of this tweet that I wanted to find. It's no, I didn't like it so far ago. I think it has to be closer. this thing. Here Rich has a tweet that is like, development happens spontaneously in the right social context. The vertical axis starts at 5 people. It does not start at 1 because individualistic self-development is a scam. And I don't know, I think this is, I guess it's, I don't know, I think it's true in some sense, right? This is the thing that I'm not sure if I wish it wasn't true, but it is. If it's scope for something that is true, if it has truth to that, but it is not the whole thing, if actually this is valid, but then this isn't. I don't know, I think this is closer to it. But also isn't. I think one-on-one teaching is something. Hello, by the way, not sure when you came, when you arrived, but hi. I am talking about. I'm not sure exactly what I'm talking about. I was talking about this vibehole thing, and I was thinking kind of community events, of these kind of things from a kind of personal point of view, right? Monk, I think, mentioned here something. Yeah, that everyone starts at 1. You have to get to 5 somehow, right? In this chart, this is a chart to measure agency in your hosting capacity, right? Using hosting capacity as a proxy. And the axis starts at 5, right? So the minimum agency that one can have is organizing some kind of conversation of 5 people, right? And here, I think I sense some friction that I don't understand really well. Oh, bye. But yeah. I got frozen because the previous viewer who was watching left. So, yeah, I wasn't sure how to tackle that. Because since I don't see anything written in chat, I don't know if it's what I'm saying that someone is like just popping in and not understanding what I'm saying, or if it's just that I myself am boring, which is fine, but yeah, I would like more explicit feedback about it. But yeah, since you just joined, whoever is watching, I think I was talking about this thing, about agency, the concept of agency. I was talking about something kind of bigger than that, which is kind of community events, right? Then I got reminded of this community event via that community event reminded me of hosting capacity in general. And that hosting capacity in general reminded me of kind of this teaching yourself thing, learning thing, right? And how this development happens spontaneously in the right social context is something that I do think is true, right? You can learn, like learning happens in the right social context probably better, right? I think tying into what I talked about this before, that she mentions about development, she talks about, development. She talks about embodiment for learning, right? So when you're learning music or something, you have to have like some kind of ground, right? And that's what I wanted to figure out with the ground, right? When I play this, right? When I play a scale, that is a certain ground of the music that I have, right? But for example, I showed this thing, right? I cannot play this well. I can like I can more or less play it, but it doesn't sound as good as it sounds. It's not as smooth. I don't have the smoothness in me, right? right from the get-go. I don't have like this embodiment of the years of practice that it takes to play something, just eyeing it once or hearing it a couple of times. I don't have that. I fail a lot. My fingering is not great, right? But I can play to a certain extent, right? I do have some embodiment of the music. I do. When I hear it, right? If I just look at it here, I can guess more or less. But if I put the cursor here, then I know what it sounds like, so I can play it more or less better, right? Because the playing is tied to the sound. That is like what's supposed to. This is just a representation of this. So when there is this thing happening, I think you can learn alone. You can learn, or you can extrapolate the social context part to whoever the fuck made the Muse Score platform that lets you play songs and to this guy who transcribed the song. So, but it is not a particular social context, right? I wouldn't call that a real social context. Okay, bye. But yeah, what I was saying, this is what I was saying. So I think that you can be taught this embodiment thing with just one person, right? The social scene can be just one teacher, or you can even self-teach these kind of things in some sense, right? That someone pointing, okay, this is what you have to point to figure out, will not instantaneously transfer knowledge to you, transfer embodiment to you, but maybe you can use the tools you already have to acquire that, right? With that one piece of input. So there is development in this field, which is musical ability. That happens. But then this is, I think, this will tie, with the last thing that I wanted to comment on, which is that music itself, for example, is inherently kind of for someone, right? You can, but not exactly, right? Because you can play music by yourself and you can just play it, you can just practice on your own, and that practice can be fulfilling in itself. Hello. I was talking about music and this kind of stuff. Music, embodiment, community, how it all ties up. And I think this kind of connects to the next thing that I wanted to talk about, which is Lego rooms. For example, no, this is a mom blog or something. But this channel, I've been watching kind of Lego room tours. And
hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. It's Jordan here.
For example, this.
Here today, we're going to be checking out 3 incredible builds.
This is insane, but it is in the Lego house in Billund, Denmark, right? But there are people who have, for example, this guy has this fucking city that he built in his house, or I assume. Right? So there is some sense of like, damn, what the fuck, right? It's like, what is the purpose of this, right? I am not being the kind of person who is like, let other people enjoy things, right? No, I let other people enjoy things, but I want to learn where the enjoyment lies, right? This is my problem, that I don't really understand, because when I think of when I was a kid and I wanted to play with Legos, I wanted something like this, right? This is all I wanted. I wanted a Lego city to be able to play with my Legos with, right? So the things that I would, so the city would not be on a fucking table, right? It would be on the floor, because I would like sit and play with the Legos on the floor. And playing makes so much sense when you're a kid, right? It's like the only thing that you want to do, to play. And the way you play is like by making up all these fake stories in your head of the little characters that you are playing with, right? And to me, I don't think that that has to have a kind of a further purpose or something, right? To me, that just is. But somehow, when you grow up and you like build this economical thing, economical as in that, in this pricey as fuck thing, right? This is so hell expensive. Each building is like $200 probably. You're like, holy fuck, right? You're like, okay. Then you start to think somehow about trade-offs or something. You start to think like, whoa, so why the fuck did you spend so much resources on this when you could have either spent them on other things? Or you start thinking, maybe the resource hunt is just to fill this, right? Which is an interesting point of view, right? So maybe this guy's hobby is this, and that's why he wants the job in the first place, right? He just fucking has the job because he needs to play with the fucking Legos. And now that he has 400,000 subscribers and 8.4 million views in this video 2 months ago, this video has probably made in 1 hour and 30 minutes. This video has to have made, I don't know, thousands, at least thousands of but, and I'm probably, yeah, I don't want to. Let's see if you can plop just one video. Brick crafts. This guy has to have made a lot of fucking money. $200,000 to 14,000. I want to know how many. I want to see like in the past 2 months. But yeah, probably half, right? Like 5,000 euros this past month. So he's probably just going to fucking spend it on Legos as well, right? Hello, bro. ¿Qué es esta wea? Una ciudad de Lego. I forgot what I was saying. I get distracted by chat, man. I don't even get viewers, and when I get viewers, I get distracted by them. I'm such a bad streamer, I guess. But yeah, the thing I was saying is that when you're a kid, playing with Legos just makes sense. Right? If you have Legos and you can play with them, it's like you don't need to have like a further purpose. It's just what you do. And I'm like, fuck. Because right now I couldn't play with Legos, I think. Maybe I could. But I've kind of forgotten that. And I don't have a job or anything like this, so it's not like I can afford to do it without my parents being like, what the fuck are you doing? Or something like this, right? And I'm not sure if it's what I wanted to do. Right? I now want to play with big toys. I now want to, for example, I want real cars now, for example. But I don't know. I am also a bit not skeptical, just that I can't find the purpose on things, right? This is building Legos for building Legos sake, right? There is no, because one thing that I would think is cool now is building Legos for building for brick filming, right? There are these brick film videos which I find really cool, right? And somehow building a Lego thing to make a video for me makes a lot of sense compared to building a Lego thing just because. Somehow but I don't know why. But this is maybe it's something with my brain, right? That I just, and the Lego film just makes sense to me, right? I'm not sure why. What the fuck? What the fuck is this, man? Let's tweet this. This is too good of a find to not tweet. Lego Skibidi Toilet is something I wasn't expecting to be hella viral. Hello, person. I was talking about Lego, about this Lego city and kind of the purpose of it, right?
This is my Lego Star Wars room.
These Lego rooms, what the purpose of them are. Why do you have this in your room, right? To have as a decoration makes sense, right? Would I have these things in my office because I've seen something like this. And it makes sense.
This is how we built the Galactic Senate from Star Wars with more than 500,000 Lego pieces. Honestly, it's one of the craziest mocks I've ever seen. 4 meters wide, 2.4 meters tall, and equipped with a lot of crazy building techniques to even enable these measurements. Into the first Galactic Empire! But let's start at the beginning. How does one even build such a crazy structure? We started by building 20 of these Technic T-frames and connecting them next to each other. You will get a circular structure, which is not quite common for Lego because Lego bricks don't really want to bend that way. But if you do it often enough and stack all of them on top of each other, you will get these massive black towers, which will be the basis of our Senate mock. Just see Henrik here in the middle of it will give you a perspective of how big this mock is going to be. And now it's time to disguise this black madness. We did that with these panels. These panels are supposed to be the entrance into each pot for each senator. As you know from the movies, they stand in there and then they discuss about different political things. Of course, a lot of these panels had to be built, and before we could connect them to the structure, we had to connect the structure with each other, which was done by Toby, as you can see here in this time lapse. And now the panels were ready to be connected. But what about the most important part?
Yo.
Between Yoda or the speech of Palpatine, they all were held from this console in the middle of the Senate. This tower can be lifted up from Palpatine's office in the ground, and we also put these gray plates on the ground to symbolize kind of the bottom of the Senate. Very cool technique here too. A lot of bricks stacked on each other and laid down with this knot building technique, repeated many times, and then we had this kind of circular shape. Next on, we had to build the giant tower. As you can see, we started by using these brick modifieds for a basic structure on the inside. Afterwards, we took these quarter bricks, put them in each corner, and also put this connection of plates and slopes on the other parts of the tower. And if you repeat that often enough, you will get a very menacing black tower. On the top, I used these Mickey Mouse parts, they came in the giant Mickey Mouse set, to end up the tower, and some more 2x4 tiles to represent the light coming out of Palpatine's tower. But how about Palpatine's podium on top? Well, we had some special printed 6x6 quarter bricks to represent this shape where he stands behind, put them on both sides, and connected them with some brick modifieds in the middle, and then we had some space for Palpatine to give his massive speeches. Last part was to figure out this blossom shape underneath the podium. Wasn't that easy. I had help from Christoph, he was also part of the project, and we used some ball joints and slopes, connected them around this round plate, and then we had kind of this angle that we aimed for. But while we built that, these bags were packed. They each contain one senator pod that has to be connected to the framework I showed you earlier, and they are also built very nicely and have these giant blue pieces that you might recognize from the AAT set. They were built last weekend by the visitors of the JB Star Wars Days in Oberhausen, Germany. Everyone who visited could build one of these sets and then equip it with their own minifigure to have it be connected to the Senate. We have two brick separators, also Padme and Bail Organa watching Palpatine, how he unveils the Galactic Empire, also the ET minifigures from the Dimension series. Little fun fact, they were actually in the Star Wars movie.
Right now I am, well, not reacting. I was watching this Lego thing because I was wondering about the Legos and about how, and about what, if it makes sense, right, for adults to do this. I'm not a hater, by the way. I like Legos. But the thing is that I don't know, like, I don't know, it's just a hobby, I guess. This is just a hobby for people. But I want to know, like, what the hobby entails, right? And what having a hobby means, I guess. Or something like this. I'm not sure exactly where I want to go, but first I wanted to watch this video.
The different people standing in the pots. So now I hope you're ready for the finished model. I had the honors of connecting the tower to the whole Senate in front of a lot of people. Then it was done. 500,000 pieces in the giant galactic Senate. I honestly didn't think it was possible when I first heard about the idea.
See, this is a 500,000 brick Lego set. A 6,000 Lego set, 6,000 pieces Lego set is like 500 euros. This is like not 10, 100 times more. This is fucking expensive as fuck. This is at least, probably, let's say a little bit less. This is like 20 grand. Okay, 500, 5,000, 50,000, right? Let's say this is 10,000 bucks. Holy fuck, right? This is like so much fucking money.
In the middle of this gigantic Lego build and to just embrace the spirit of it and enjoy the building techniques. For example, you can see here.
This is just the money, and this is a lot of money for it's just like static, right? Which I guess you could say the same thing about a painting or something, right? But those things, for some reason, are considered art, right? And they have meaning and all of these things. But this, like, what meaning does the Galactic Senate from Star Wars made in Lego bricks have, right? This is kind of what I don't understand. Because, for example, if you're making videos about it, to me, it would kind of make sense and I would respect it a lot, right? Because you're just trying to make these Lego videos, but with Star Wars characters or whatever in this Lego, so you want to make the universe very real. Makes sense? You want to recreate this scene, so you do it in stop motion. I don't know. There's a point where it stops making sense, I think, but I think it kind of makes sense in a way, right? But yeah. Basically, this is cool. And for example, imagine someone using this to recreate the scene in stop motion, right? It's like this by itself is impressive and kind of awesome, but your mind always goes into, whoa, it would be cool to recreate the scene in stop motion, right? It is like no one wants to visit the Senate in real life, right? Because it's not a real place. It's just some made up place that it was made to tell some story, right? Some people probably do want to watch like Tatooine or watch where it was recorded, right? But because it's like the bits and pieces that make this story, right? The important thing from the movie and from all of that is the story, right? The important thing from a painting or from art or from the books or something like this, right? It's like the story that gets told. And when I see this kind of city,
Hello everyone, I wanted to start...
not this, whatever I was watching before. No, not this. This, for example. Well, this is in a... But when I see this, for example, this guy building a Lego city in his house. Well, I think this guy is German, so I think it's like his town has some kind of internal lore, but it's like this city is so much money, so much resources, so much blah blah blah, for not telling any story or for telling like just some kind of subtle story in the characters that are interplaying, but without actually like making some, I don't know, it's something strange to me, right? I'm not hating, I like it and I would love to have had that thing. But for example, if you're not going to play with it, if you're not a kid and you're not going to play with it, it's like in the Lego movie. In the Lego movie, there was this guy, right, who was, I think, like the whole point of it, spoilers for the Lego movie. The Lego movie, the whole point was that it is kind of the dad with one of these amazing Lego houses, right? Lego cities, building his own home, being kind of destroyed by his kids playing with the Legos, right? Like the point of the movie is that at the end of the movie, the bad guy turns out to be the dad who is gluing these Lego city things so that they remain together, right? Because he has built this kind of static thing. And the Lego movie is about the dynamism and the change of the things of that the kids playing with the Legos create, right? And that's like the beauty of it, right? So I wonder like what the point of building these Lego cities is. And if the haters are right in some sense or if they are not, right? That's kind of what I'm wondering with these Lego things. Because I'm not a hater, and when I see like this is the type of shit that I would pay money to see, right? If I find out that there is some guy with a basement that charges like €5 and you can like go inside and look at it, I would probably be one of the people who would go like, fuck it, let's see it, right? There are some people who would be like, that's such a stupid waste of money, right? But I'm not like that. I kind of like that. I kind of like it, right? And I respect it in some sense internally. But for everything that I do respect, I wonder, is it for me, right? And for me to wonder if this is for me, I have to be like, okay, what would I be giving up for this, right? Why would I need in the first place? What do you need to build some kind of epic Lego city in your house? You need a house, right? A big one, right? A spare room, or at least for your Legos. And then it gets me thinking like, okay, I have here, look, I have, dream. I have these ideas for making my dream house, right? These are all the things that would go in my dream house. And none of them are like epic Lego room, even though I do like Legos, right? All of them are like, they have the car inside. They have like music composition equipment. I have a bigger list in general about this, right? But it is like the space that I want is for having clothes, for having music composition equipment, for having workshop equipment to build stuff, right? But to 3D printers and all of this to build kind of things that interact in the real world, right? To build furniture, for example, or to build pieces for cars, or props for the video, right? Everything. Videos, the thing about videos is that videos aren't real either, right? But they can be considered kind of art in a sense. So this, in a sense, is also art in a sense, right? But for example, the economics of this are strange, right? It's like, how much did he spend on this? How much did he get back? Can he sustain that? Is the amount that he put into it going to come back and get multiplied? Is it just going to maintain something that he's already built with? I have all these questions. What's the mindset behind the guy? Does he have a wife? Is he young? I think he's relatively young, right? He might be like me, maybe a little bit younger. I don't know. He's shown himself in videos sometimes. But yeah, I start thinking about these things. And for example, what is up with the people who watch this? What's the economy of this? What's the attention economy in this space? Who is watching the videos of Legos? Is it all people who like Legos but can't have them, right? How much of this is constraints? People being constrained, in a sense. How much of this is people respecting but accepting their own constraints happily, right? They are like, fuck, it would be cool, but I'm not going to fucking leave my spare room just for this, right? I want to have guests. My wife sometimes brings people home and we need to have their parents over a couple times a month. We can do this, right? We can't have a Lego room, but I do have my Lego set in my office, right? And I like Legos. So he watches the videos about Legos and it's like, and he's like perfectly content with that. How much of this is like causing like actual envy, right? How many people are like sitting inside and being like, oh, I hate you, I want this for me, but I can't have it because I'm not rich, right? I want to know these things. What do you guys think? Are you watching? Have you understood the argument? You can write something. I've seen that there have been 12 people here, but they have only watched 2 minutes on average, so I can't be sure. There has been a person who has maybe been here for around 10 to 20 minutes. So if you have been here, you can write something, because I'm just, I do these things to talk to myself, essentially. But if you want to talk also, you can talk, right? Like there is a chat box there, or whatever. This is what I was thinking. And this is like my last point of this. I thought of this because I've been thinking about kind of real world versus... Yeah, because I think about video a lot, right? And I want to know, like, to what extent is video an illusion or something unreal or something like unrealistic to consider as a profession and all of these things, right? Or like, who the fuck is watching this, for example? Who are you and why are you watching this? Or if it makes any sense at all to upload footage like this, these streams, for no one to see. And if it helps me talk through stuff, I think it is that at least that's been covered and that's useful. But then I could just talk this through with no one else around to watch, and it would have the same effect, and I would not waste resources in of bandwidth, or like I wouldn't be, I don't know, it's not like I mind about YouTube owning my data or whatever, right? I don't give a shit. Like I will download it periodically to have it on my hard drive, and it will be fine. But I do wonder about like what is real. Back to the thing. Before I talked about this video, in this stream, she mentions how she teaches like voice for trans people or whatever, and her point, and also teaches music. And her point is that in music and in voice, in all these things, the action is embodied, right? The learning is embodied. It is like when you are speaking in a feminine voice or whatever, you are not thinking about the qualities of your voice while you are speaking. You simply speak, and the voice comes out one way, right? And like I can modify my voice like this or whatever, and if I do it well enough, it will sound feminine. But once I want to speak like that, or when you're playing music, like when you're playing music, you're not thinking of, okay, what goes here, right? You're like, you do it. You're kind of listening, you kind of like, there is this feedback loop of your perception and your ability to do things that's connected. And that's real, right? So therefore it's real. You are using your hands, real hands, on some kind of real thing, which is kind of a guitar, for example, right? I can do this. And I can know that I have not played it well because my ear tells me that I have not played the chords well, right? I'm not on tempo. I'm not setting a good tempo. I'm like, when I switched to the D chord was so muddy. It was like sounding muddy. And I can tell all these things. And I want to know, like, I don't know. And somehow I think of the bricks thing. Like, is it worth pursuing quality? I think so. In our sense, I do think so, and I do respect that, right? But it is like so strange in a sense to see so much display of money used in this way, right? In this kind of static way. I guess you could say. Maybe you could say the same thing about a painting, right? Maybe a painting is also a way of putting a lot of money in just some static way. Like these kind of huge art auctions or whatever. I don't know. These are my thoughts, I think. Hi. Have you just arrived? I was talking about random stuff. I was talking about these kind of Lego things and how they connect to video. Like, and what role video plays in all of this, right? It's like people have had Lego cities and all of this for a long time. Yeah, then I freeze. Sorry for freezing and not talking all the time. But yeah, sorry for PUBG better. Bro, what the fuck? I play PUBG sometimes. Yeah, I like PUBG. Are you talking about what does that have to be to do with Lego? Sorry. Alright. I'm cutting this. My throat is itchy. Thank you to the one person who is here for watching. And yeah, hope some of this made sense to anyone. And if not, if it didn't, it's alright. It helped kind of talk through stuff in my mind at least. So yeah, for that alone, it's worth it. Hello, new person who is joined. I talked about Legos. I talked about learning. I talked about practice. I talked about music. I talked about embodiment of abilities. I talked about video. I talked about many things, but it is time to wrap it up. So thank you for... I understood like half, but I usually don't write in chat, so I don't know what to write. No problem. What questions do you wish you had been asked? Do you wish you had been asked something? Or are you fine with what I said? Like, are you like, wish he had asked me about what is my favorite Lego set? Or something like this. I don't know. No, everything is fine. I'm not even into Lego. What kind of music are you in? I'm not in any kind of music, but I can play music a little bit. Just guitar. I showed it a little bit before, right? But what I was saying is that I used it mostly as an example of what I wanted to say. So I can play like slow chords and all this, but as you can see, it doesn't sound that well. I can play some melodic stuff too, but I'm not that good at it. And for example, I use this example. Give me some motivation to play guitar. I don't know. I'm also not very motivated to play guitar, actually, sorry. But I don't know. I think that what I would say is that tying it into all of these things, right, is that finding a good way to, I don't know, like, I think that I would say, like, remember that the only reason that the thing that guitar can do is produce sound, and that the thing that you can do is like listen to sound. So always keep that in mind, right? So if you see this, something like this, and you're like, I don't, like, I can read tabs, okay, so this is the third string and this is the 2, so this should go like this, and then the 1, so, and the 1, 0 to the same time. Like, you can do this, and you can like play analytically. But the first thing that you have to know is that this is just a representation for the fucking sound, right? Like, never forget that. The sound is what matters. And the motivation is, I don't know, think of what sound do you want to make with the guitar, right? Then think and like maybe try to approach it that way. I don't know. I think that's what I couldn't like keep learning guitar, because I just was never tied to any kind of sound. I never got into any sound. So I just couldn't practice. I didn't have a purpose, a reason to practice, right? People are like, discipline, discipline, discipline. And I'm like, I don't know. Okay, discipline. Okay, but discipline works so much better when you're like, okay, I have such a hard time doing this. The part is so difficult. This is so difficult. So what is wrong with this, right? What do I need to practice? Or for example, you're like, your role is just the backup guitarist in this. This pulse is like, I don't know. It was like, yeah, it would be like, these chords sound so bad. Why am I so bad at changing chords? Then you have to like be like, okay, so I have to practice the transitions between chords. This is difficult, right? So then you go to YouTube and you Google. So you go to YouTube and you go like chord transitions. And you practice these exercises. I love playing with a friend of mine, but I can't just always drive over. Hard to get motivated on my own, you know. Yeah, I definitely know. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. Maybe. Yeah, maybe like, yeah, it's good that you know that you like to play with friends. Maybe you could either find fake friends to practice with, aka like YouTube people, and you're like, okay, this guy is funny, so, or you're like I like jamming, so jamming session YouTube or something. I don't know. Jamming session background, for example, background track. And maybe you find something like this. A minor is like, but in La. Sorry, I sound so bad. Yeah, I don't know. Just find ways. Yeah, maybe find what it is about the sound that you make with your friends, right? Because improvising with someone is like conversating, right? So find something that makes the conversation sound better. So when you're conversating with him, the conversation is better, right? So for example, if you were just talking about talking, maybe you would be like, fuck it, I'm going to read this book so that I have something to talk with my friends next week, right? You would be like, I like to talk with my friends, so I'm going to read this book because of that, right? And you find the motivation. It's like, just talking with your friends is cool, but maybe you can use the motivation to read a book, right? But in the same way, maybe you could focus the practice on something like that, right? Something like, okay, I like playing with my friends. And when we always play kind of jazz or something. So maybe you could be like, let's play more jazz and go like ham on it and go like, fuck it, let's download all these jazz breaking tracks or whatever. I don't really have examples. I don't play with friends or anything. But yeah, you could be like, okay, let's learn these things. Or you could be the opposite and be like, okay, let's change style or something. I don't know. That's what I came up with. See if it works. It's just something that occurred to me. I don't, for example, I don't know if it will work. I never like read something just to talk about it with a friend. But, for example, this book was gifted to me by a friend, right? So it is, in a sense, kind of my duty to read it now, right? The thing is that because it is a book that I wanted in the first place, I now have like double the reasons to do it, right? So it's like, it's not even a question that in 2024 I am going to finish this book, right? I just know it. I know that it will happen because I have all of this kind of motivation. I know when I usually read. So maybe I know that it will take me several months because it rains a lot and physical books don't like rain. But I know that once it's nice out, I will make the time for this because it's something that I want to read. Plus, it has that extra emotional connection or whatever, right? But in general, I read because of other motivations. For example, this book that I'm reading right now, it's just because it teaches like copywriting, and I want to make money. Like, and I find like the storytelling that he makes interesting. Plus, he always puts like this kind of his sales argument is kind of, you can make money with copywriting, right? So it will pay by itself. Like, he cannot guarantee it, obviously, but he sells you the lottery ticket, and I buy the lottery ticket happily, right? Yeah, so maybe you could approach it with that way. Maybe you can approach it with either the extra duty that comes with the personal connection or whatever, or if not, you can always go the lottery ticket route. You can always be like, okay, I'm going to practice just in case the lottery hits, and it is actually something that makes the jam sessions more fun. I don't know. What are your constraints? Like, when you're alone, why don't you play guitar? Like, what do you actually do instead? I guess maybe we watch live streams by people with 2 viewers on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to. I hate my neighbors. They always hit the radiators that are connected to my apartment when I am too loud. Maybe you could take advantage of this and play like more chill shit. Yeah, maybe it's impossible. You know. That does suck. There is this insulating there are these things, maybe they work. Or yeah, maybe you could just play on headphones. I know people who do that, right? My brother my brother doesn't, but like I have these. It's the one below. I don't think I can put that on the ground. One of these was a mat, I think. There are ways, probably expensive, but and yeah, I guess if it's like a rental, you probably can't. I guess this is all ready for like actual construction, I guess. Soundproofing floor, rental. Lay down thick racks. Furnitures, change rooms. Yeah, not a lot of options, I guess. Maybe a thick rug could work. This is a problem if you have like me, one of these chairs with wheels, but it is always. The good thing is that soundproofing is not only good for the neighbors, it's also good for you because you can record stuff better as well. Yeah. Maybe for practicing. Maybe using the electric with headphones for practicing and the acoustic for... What do you play, by the way?
The holiday season's finally over. You might have gotten yourself a brand new electric guitar and you are trying to figure out how to practice in all hours of the day without your loved ones going deaf. So we're here to answer that question for you. Stick around. Topic to some of you guys, especially if you're longtime viewers, you've probably been playing electric guitar through your Line 6 Spider 3 with headphones for many, many years. But as it turns out, this is an extremely common question, both online and forums on Google and everything, and also in the store, because a ton of parents have bought their kids guitars during the holiday season. A lot of people are just stuck at home more often recently and trying to pick up an instrument. They want to play some rock and roll, and they are trying to not disturb their neighbors or their family members. So a lot of people just ask, how do I get this sound to come through headphones? And so just I go deaf. And there are a lot of options for that. Unfortunately, kind of the most basic thing that a lot of people think is you can probably just plug some headphones into an actual guitar, and that's probably not going to work out for you. You're also wondering why I'm holding this Yamaha silent guitar, and that is because this is probably one of the only guitars out there that you can actually do that on. So this guitar does come with a headphone jack in this kind of preamp area there, but if you're playing Fender Strat or any other electric guitar, it's probably not going to work out for you, as you've seen. A lot of people get nice studio monitors, or they just have their regular iPhone headphones, and that has a 3.5mm jack on it, and that's the smaller one. And this guitar, with some amps, they do have a headphone jack for that size, but probably the most important kind of accessory that you can buy to start your journey of headphone rocking would be an adapter. So something like this, this one that we carry here in the store, but there's a lot of brands that make these. This goes from a 3.5mm jack to a 1/4 inch, and if you've seen on an amplifier where it says headphones, maybe on an interface, a lot of times they're going to be a 1/4 inch jack. So this is probably pretty important to get, because a lot of times you're going to need it. And like I said, we carry certain kind of headphones in the store. A lot of them come with...
I mean, I have an audio interface, so I would just plug it into the audio interface instead of doing this. But this is probably what he's saying is probably easier. But I don't know. I like the recording stuff because with the audio interface you can record it in the computer, so you can like check out how you did.
Bomber jacket you've had since sixth form, adorned with patches of places you've been, is nothing on my khaki coat I got from a roadside when I was 16. My boots are from airports, my backpack's from friends. I'm not a man of substance, and so I'll pretend to be a wanderer, wandering, leaving ascetic belongings in hostels and restaurant bins. Cut that bit out. The road to my home is horizon. My target, if I keep on moving, never lose sight of it, treating my memory of you like a fire, let it burn out, don't fight it, try to move on. It's been 60 weeks since I saw Vienna. A bandage and a wide smile slept across my face. I'll pick up my hiking boots when I am ready, and I'll put down my roots when I'm dead. The distance is futile. Come on, don't be hasty, you'll get that feeling deep inside your bones.
So to sing it.
I'll be gone then.
And this song does sound better in acoustic.
Must be alone.
Yeah, this is probably... Yeah, I don't exactly know what a picking pattern is, for example. I guess it's just what you do, right? I guess it always repeats the same thing. See, and that's the problem with tabs. Here, it doesn't tell you the picking pattern thing, right? So if I wanted to learn this song, I would be like, what the fuck, right? I would be like, fuck, this is so hard, I guess. And then the song actually goes like, or repeating something, I guess. Okay, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you for being here, man. It's cool. Good luck in your guitar journey. Hope what I said was useful in some way, and if it wasn't, well, I had a relatively nice time saying it, so it was at least useful for me in a sense, so that's fine as well. And yeah. Bye. Have a good one. And yeah, thank you to Jatin Jadav as well. He said nice when I was playing music, so that's good as well. Bye. Thank you.